Hello everyone, I'm your hostess with the mostest, 8 Second Gaming, and today we're going to be diving into one of my very own games. This is one that I had with a friend the other night. We were just kind of messing around in pubs, and I actually ended up having a pretty good 1v3 situation that I thought that I could break down, show you guys how to do it, because when you break these down, when you really VOD review these, they're not as hard as people make them out to be. So I want to dive deep into this, but if you guys like this style of video, if you guys like the VOD reviews, you need to check out the GameLeap website. Over there, we have tons of highly in-depth content from top level players, all aimed at making you the best Apex player you can possibly be. And there's no better time than right now, because right now on that site, we are having a sale. So if you go over there, grab an annual subscription, 50% off when you use the code GETGOOD. That's GITGUD, get good. Grab a subscription, figure out what you need to do to become a better Apex player over there right now. But now back to this VOD review. Right now, my Pathfinder's dead. He died over here. We got caught out and the zone is closing. So we're trying to make a move on getting into ring. It's not super far away, but there's a team in this building. There's actually two teams in here. Everybody's kind of congregating in that area. My man Maggie has been caught out a little bit, but thankfully with this, as we can see going forward here, I'm able to get some shots out. I'm able to distract a little bit. They're not really paying attention to her as much. So she is able to relocate out of that building safely. Now, a lot of people, they try to take shots on that building. They try to get a lot of damage out. They try to kill somebody, but then they would leave them caught out in ring. I do have heat shields. I could potentially sit in ring, but I don't want to sit in ring. I want to get to a spot in zone safely, like just be safe, be out of zone, not be taking damage, and then I can look to try to gatekeep as much as I possibly can. So that's why I pop my ultimate here, because I want to see with the basically digi threat, the ultimate form, where everybody's playing, who's being aggressive, who's being singled out, so that I can really try to like figure out where everybody's playing, get some good angles on someone. And I see this Bloodhound, they missed me with their scan and they're sitting out in the open. So I'm able to just get some really easy shots right here. I almost cracked them. So as soon as they do that, I'm playing this corner, because if I hopped up on top of this, if I'm playing on top of this part right here, the teammates are over here. If I'm playing up here, they have shots on me. So if that Bloodhound's calling out, hey, somebody's on me, turn around, look at me, help me out, they could easily laser me. So I'm looking to play this cover right here because it doesn't leave me as exposed. As soon as I do that, I send a scan out to see when they're coming around the corner. And as I do this, I start to slide. I slide this direction because I don't want to slide directly into the Bloodhound, because then we're going to be face to face with each other. I slide off to the side because as they're coming around the corner, they're going to be thinking that I'm head level. Usually you would aim around head level. You'd try to figure out, like you can see my crosshair is basically in line with their eyeball. That's where you usually aim. By sliding, I change my head height so that they're not aiming at me. And I catch them off guard, and I have a really good spray going, and I'm able to get a knock, and then we immediately thirst. And the reason you immediately thirst in a situation like this, some people would reload their weapons. Some people would go to peek out on the other teammates. The reason you thirst immediately here is, number one, they don't get any information. They're not giving callouts. They're not saying, hey, they're over here, they're playing this side, they're playing that side, they're healing, they're peeking, they're doing this. No callouts, no information. Secondly, I have an armor swap right there ready to go. So if I do get pushed, if I do get cracked, I have that armor swap to really draw and bait people in. And that's something not a lot of people understand, is the power of an armor swap. And that's something you really need to pay attention to. If you have somebody that you could easily thirst, they're behind cover, you just had a really good 1v1, or in this case, it was a 2v1, thirst them, have that option right there ready to go. So now after that, we look to see where everybody else is coming down. They're still fighting on the hill, so I look to try and grab anything that I can off this body, and they ended up having a Spitfire. And the Spitfire is really good for situations where you're at a loss, where you're down a little bit, because the amount of bullets you're able to send out. There's 55 rounds in a mag. It is unbelievably good for situations where you're down. So right now I'm just sending out some shots on people coming down the hill. I don't want to give them any breathing room. I don't want to let them kind of sit back, relax. So I'm right here, I'm in their face. If I had been Mad Maggie, I would have thrown a riot drill on this so that they can't play that. Unfortunately, I wasn't Mad Maggie at this time. I was Bloodhound. So basically, I just get to see where they're standing. Right now, I'm trying to throw some thermites out. And the only reason I'm shooting these guys is because I don't want to let them sit back and relax. I want to keep chipping away health. I want to keep chipping away damage, because as I do that, as I hit one by one, so if I hit this person, then they need to back off and heal. And then this person is solo. And then I hit them and they have to back off and heal. And then this person's alone. And then they have to back off and heal. And then this person comes back in one by one, they will come back in and it breaks the fight up. So you're not taking a 1v3 or a 2v3 in this case. You're not taking that disadvantageous fight. You're breaking it up into smaller segments that you can really have a lot more of an advantage in these fights. Because if we were to just run at them, they would wipe us. They have the numbers advantage. They would just easily kill us. So you need to take advantage of every small, tiny detail you can in these fights. And with that, I'm full armor. They don't know that I'm missing health. My teammate got hit a little bit. They haven't seen my armor. So right now, I'm basically just trying to chip away at them and make that so that they have to back off and heal. So as we do that, my teammate does run up and gets caught out in a bad position here. I have to back up because they did hit me a little bit. So my teammate's in a really bad spot. I have to back up. As I do that, I see that my teammate is probably going to die because of the position that they're in. They're getting hit for a lot. So I back up to this spot right here. A lot of people would try to overcommit. They'd pop that battery and they'd run back into this choke and they try to fight with their teammate. They'd go kicking and screaming to the depths of hell. It's not what you need to do. So I come back here and I take a really good vantage point on height, but I'm unable to really help them there. They're just in a really bad spot. They're going to get pinched. They have no escape tool. So unfortunately, my teammate does go down, but that doesn't mean the fight's over just yet. I'm sending some shots out. I do break the Valkyrie. I break the Horizon here. I hit them for a lot, but now they hit me and they crack me and they're saying he's low, he's cracked, go, get him, get him, get him. And this is where that armor swap comes into play because I have this right here. The Valkyrie overcommits to this fight, doesn't know that I have armor, barely does, just almost doesn't do 50 damage to me. I'm able to get them knocked, and I'm immediately going for that thirst on them as well because I want that other armor swap. And the Horizon that pushes me doesn't have the option to armor swap on this either because they'd have to do the banner grab animation. So they have no access to that box. I do kind of get caught on that rock and it makes me take a lot more damage, which could have got me killed. But thankfully she misses some shots here too. I'm able to get a somewhat good of a track on her as she falls. And then this is where a lot of people would panic because they're fairly low health. Like you have about 50 HP, you don't know what to do. A lot of people try to pop a battery, some people will try to pop a cell. Right now, I'm confident in my abilities to hit shots, and I'm hoping that they're not going to hit theirs. So I'm sending some shots out, I'm able to get a decent amount of damage out, and I'm able to finish her. It could have gone either way. Right there, it's a coin toss. Could I have healed? Potentially. I don't think I would have gotten the battery off. I think she would have just walked up and shotgunned me. I didn't really have a whole lot of other options, so fighting there I think is the best opportunity for you to win that fight. And thankfully, it did allow me to win and get her killed, and I have this armor swap right here. Now, as I open the box, I'm not sure if you guys caught that or not, but as I open the box, I can see the other teammate running up. This is the other squad. These guys die right now. The Bloodhound's teammate that I thirsted earlier, they're running up out of the corner of my eye. I can see them coming around the choke point. They are right here. So as they come around the corner there, I am immediately grabbing an armor swap. I'm not going to try to heal. I want to meet them in open area because I know as they push up, there's open ground right here. Right on the other side of this little ledge, there's nothing to play there. So I don't want to give them time to get to the ledge and have a head glitch to play while I have to jiggle peek them because that's not optimal for me. So I grab that armor swap and I'm immediately looking to push them. And as I catch them right here, they have no cover. There's nothing for them to play. They would either have to run back to this rock or they have to overcommit to this, which forces a really bad spot for both of it. There's no good option here, but this is where I mess up as a player right here. I drop off height. Because I overcommit to this, I potentially could have lost this fight. So as I drop down, I think that they're going to be sitting right here, waiting for me right here. I didn't think that they would try to hop up over the wall because that didn't make sense to me in my mind. If I had stayed up there, that Maggie would have been challenging me up top. I was pretty much full health. They didn't know how much HP I had. So as I'm drop off, this is where stuff could go bad because they have this ledge here that they can jiggle peek. If they had a shotgun, they would definitely be like able to jiggle peek to be kind of owning me a little bit because if they're playing that edge, it can be rough. A Mastiff can still hit for a ton of HP and I'm not that healthy. In terms of shotgun battles, I'm not very healthy at all. So if she was able to jiggle peek that ledge with a Mastiff or a fully choked Peacekeeper, I could have lost that fight just because I slid off height. Even though she was really low, I could still lose this. And that's something that you need to never do in your games. If you have height like that, never drop off it. Learn from my mistakes here. Thankfully, she isn't able to get her shots off. I'm able to land that because what I do here is I backed up so that she had to overcommit to the ledge. If I had stayed there, she would have had to head peek on me and I would have to hit headshots. Because I backed up, she had to overcommit to the ledge and that's what allowed me to get some shots off on her and win that fight. So because I was able to break stuff down into 1v1s, basically, I was able to work the team. I was able to get armor swaps. I was able to pull off the win, even though I shouldn't have. A lot of people would panic panic. A lot of people would overcommit to stuff. Not something you have to do. You don't always have to overcommit to fights. You can break stuff down, break it into 1v1s, and then you can win very easily without breaking a sweat. I really hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. If you did, remember to smash that like and subscribe button to stay up to date with all of our upcoming videos. Thank you all for watching. Once again, I'm 8 Second Gaming, and I will see you in the next one.